I've got a confession to make. I'm a terrible coward. Fear is a constant fact of my life. Once, when me and my sister were children, we went to the river with our grandfather. He left us on the river bank and strictly said, "You must sit and wait for me. Don't go into the water." And he went away. My sister was a naughty child, not like me. She took her life ring and went into the water. I tried to persuade her not to do it, but it didn't work. And a few minutes later, I heard her crying for help, and I saw the disappearing figure of my sister in her life. There was a very strong current in the river, and the streams of water were carrying her away. What should I do now? I'm afraid that my grandfather will be angry with us because we disobeyed him. I'm afraid that my sister will swim away in her life ring, and I'm terribly afraid of swimming. I was scared to death. I got goosebumps all over my body and my knees were shaking with fear. Oksana, you have to do it. You have to save your sister. I was in despair, but I clearly understood that if I don't do it, I will never see my sister again. I jumped into the water and swam up to my sister. Finally, I did it. I took hold of her life ring. But now, this strong current was carrying away the two of us. Thank God our grandfather saved us. He was really angry with us. He scolded us, but at the end he told me, "Anyway, I'm proud of you." Later, I realized, all right, I'm a coward, but I saved my sister. Okay, I was afraid of everything, but I dived into my fear and I did it. Maybe it means that I can do anything. Even if I am afraid, I can do it simply if I can overcome my fear. You know, I used to work at a public school as an English teacher for a long time. I was a bad teacher. I was teaching English, but I couldn't speak English. Can you imagine that? I had 10 or even 12 lessons a day. I knew how to teach English, how to explain the rules, but I couldn't speak at all. In fact, I hated English. To tell the truth, I never wanted to be a teacher. That was my grandmother's dream. Moreover, I didn't have time for anything but those English classes that I hated. I was so exhausted after work that I couldn't even read a fairy tale to my daughter before going to bed. I didn't want anything, nothing at all. I didn't want to wake up in the morning and go to work. I was in constant depression and I started having health problems. It was unbearable. And I started asking myself, have I chosen the right profession? How can I change my life? Will I spend the whole my life like this? Oh, it wasn't how I pictured my life for sure. And one day, I decided to quit my job, to dive into the unknown with no plan B, just nowhere. How will I make money? Where to go? What to do? It's so difficult to start everything from scratch. I was as scared as I was by the river in my childhood. I didn't know what to do. But now, it seemed to me that it wasn't a river anymore. It was an ocean. An ocean of teachers who are more experienced than me? What if they're like piranhas and then will hate and tease me for not being as experienced as they are? An ocean of new problems like how to make money and how to find new students. Again, this paralyzing fear. But I thought, I managed to overcome it back then by the river. I saved my sister, and I'll save myself, because I want to change my life for the better. And I remembered my grandfather was telling me, don't be afraid to dive into the sea. Move from the familiar places to new shores. You'll reach them as a different person. You know, my grandfather was the only person who supported me. He told me, believe that new victories, new achievements, new energy is somewhere ahead. If you dive into your fear, you'll become a different person. It will give you new energy, the energy of believing in yourself. You can do it, told me. Cool? Yeah? Okay. What should I do? The first idea was to create an account on Instagram, and I started posting useful tips on how to learn English. And you know what? That decision gave me so much energy. I was so inspired that I started telling everyone how easy it is to learn English, how enjoyable it could be, and how to turn English learning into a lifestyle. And it worked. My friends started asking me about the classes. Then they started to recommend me to their friends. And then I started getting the requests from completely unfamiliar people. I found my first students, and I started making money. All I did was recognize my fear and understand what exactly I was afraid of. And then I just made the first step towards my fear. And it worked. Clearly, I had new fears every step of the way, but every time I had a fear, I just dived into it and did exactly what I was afraid of. I knew how to work with children, but adults, I've never worked with them. That was so scary. What if they are smarter than me? What if they think that I'm stupid? Okay, I made the first step and I started studying a lot every day. Coaching, psychology, public speaking, vocal classes. Another fear was, how will I talk to my students? Because I knew how to teach English, but I couldn't speak. And I decided to join an online English school from South America. And I started speaking a lot about everything. I improved my English. Also, I was so happy that I could plan my day. I decided to go to the gym, and finally, I had time for my hobbies and for myself. Now, I realized I really enjoy my work. I love every class I do. And finally, my eyes light up. I smile a lot and I'm full of energy. Looking back, I realize whenever my life was about to change, I had this paralyzing fear. I'd ask myself 1,000 questions. Oksana, are you crazy? Do you have any idea how responsible that is? Can you imagine how much work you have to do? But every time I had a fear, I just dive into it. My life changes for the better, and I become the better version of myself. Now I know it. It's an eureka moment. If I'm afraid of something, that's exactly what I have to do. I was afraid to work with new students. Okay, I found them and I started working with them. I was afraid to treat my teeth. I got braces. I was wearing them for 2 years. And to tell the truth, only 5 days ago, I took them off. And I'm so happy that I can smile a lot. And I was afraid to perform on the stage. And now I'm standing in front of you. Fear is a signal. It's a clear indicator of the next step you need to make. Use it to reach a new level, which you have never reached before. Fear is a fuel. It sends endorphins into a body, then it sends adrenaline into a system, then it makes your heart pump faster and it shoots oxygen throughout your body. It makes you 3 times stronger than you normally are. Use it to drive yourself forward. It will give you new energy to keep going. Having overcome your fear, you gain a superpower. Not only do you become a better version of yourself, you start to believe in yourself. Believing in yourself makes you a superhero. You can do anything. Thank you. Thank you.